Hi everybody, welcome. I'm squealing like a little kid. Welcome to kdmoonchild's world. I'm Katie and we have a fun resin project today. I'm working on this one. You see me working up there in the corner. I'm trying to do a Larimar effect. Now believe it or not, that's purple, not black. This is what happens when you add a drop of black into lavender. It becomes very, very dark. Anyway, there's a little piece of gold heart that I keeps trying to float, and I keep having to poke it back down. So since I have to sit here and babysit this Larimar effect thing, I thought let's use this trivet mold and let's see if we can make a suncatcher. Why not? I can make this trivet mold look like it's made out of cast iron if I want. Or I can make it look like water. So let's add a little bit of this forget-me-not to 100. I mixed up 100 milliliters of resin, and it's the Let's Resin 1-to-1 resin. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the Marabu rainbow ink, alcohol ink. It has a real shimmery, tumbly, moving effect that is really fun to watch. And when you're done, the itty bitty micro bits of glitter are gorgeous in whatever you're making. So we're trying to make this as transparent and light colored as possible. I was thinking maybe if I can, I would really like to duplicate ice. What you saw me do there was spray the mold with isopropyl alcohol. Now the isopropyl alcohol helps prevent bubbles collecting in the little details in the mold, like down in the corners and in the little sharp spaces. This mold has a lot of little corners and little sharp spaces, so we want to make sure we don't get any bubbles in those spaces. Now I'm getting ready to mix my color, and once I get started stirring, there's several colors to go. We'll stir and pour and stir and pour. Now I'm only going to do the trivet part, the main part, once, and there you go, 1 drop of blue. Forget-me-not blue. There goes the second drop. We're going to need any more? Nope. We're going to try it with just those two. Want it very transparent, and what I'm looking for is that look of Arctic water or that Caribbean blue. I want it to look icy and cold. I live where ice doesn't happen very often. When it does, it's a novelty. So I think it would be really nice ice. I think it would be really cool. Now, boy, what words could you not use that have to do with ice, huh? I think it would be great to look out my window, see hanging in my window a sculpture that catches the sun that is all sparkle and all blue. Now, I need to warn you about this sun catcher thing. Main reason I'm adding color to this is because if you don't, just use plain clear. You put this in a very sunny, like Arizona south window, where the sun can stream in on it directly. You have a very high possibility of getting a prism effect, which acts like a microfilm. Yeah. Oh, obviously it wasn't dark enough, so we're adding 1, 2. Looks like 2 more drops. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you put this in the clear without any color in it, in a bright sunny window, and the sun shines through that on something that is flammable, it could highly possibly set it on fire. It has a tendency to work just like a magnifying glass. That's the word I was looking for, was magnifying glass. But it does have a tendency to look like a magnifying glass or work like one. So As you can tell, look at this color. Isn't this pretty? Now, doesn't that look like water? I added more blue, so I have to stir it again to get it all well stirred in. And because if you don't, then you get these little dark streaks or clumps of color. And it's just not, unless you're wanting that effect, it's just not pretty. You know what I mean? So here we go. Getting ready to do some pouring, I do believe. At this point, I'm just going to hush. I'm just going to hush, let you watch. Here we go. Adding the fun part now. Here comes, yeah, move it up, Katie, so everybody can see the whole thing when you add this Marabu rainbow ink. Normally you drop it in by the drop, but I'm about out, and I'm trying to pour it in there without, getting that ball bearing that shakes up the glitter part in this, the fine particles. I want the ball bearing to land in the resin. Won't really help me much in there. So we put that. I just poured a bunch in. I'm trying to use up a little bit that's in the bottom of the bottle. And getting ready to add some, nope, not in this one. This one is just ink, alcohol, ink, and resin. The reason I hesitated there is because a little bit later on I'm going to add some glitter, but that is not to this particular part right here. So here we go with the stirring mode. You'll see this action a lot in this video. So what I've done for your convenience and mine, so we don't go stir crazy, I have sped up a lot of the stirring parts. Not this part though. I want to thank you very much for being here. If you're one of my subscribers, I'm so glad you came back to look at more, and I so appreciate your support. You are this channel, not me and my artwork or me and my card reading. It's you. The whole reason I do all this stuff is for you. Now, after saying that to you, if you're new here, I hope you like what you see. You're more than welcome to come back as often as you'd like. I do a live stream once a month, and I'm thinking about adding a second live stream to the lineup, but it'll be a little different because it won't be on artwork. Anyway, at this particular point, if you're a lurker, I love you for just being here and watching. You know, decide later on down the line whether you want to come back. But if you're just watching, will you do me a favor? If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Algorithm really kind of likes it. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Now, let's get this thing started. Let's pour. Now, I know it's going to be hard for you to see my hand, and the stuff is going to be in the way, but this is the only position my camera really works in. So we're starting in the center of this mold. I don't know if I mixed up quite enough. I'm pretty sure I did. And as I'm pouring, you'll see it self-levels and will run into all those little intricate details, which is what you want it to do. If I were to pour it into all those details, hello bubbles, you introduce bubbles. Or if you continue to pour in one spot, one general area, and let that spread on its own, you have less chance of getting bubbles. So now I've used all that I had mixed up and stirred together. Let's see if it's going to be enough. Right now I'm scraping every little bit I can out of that container. So yeah, let's just spread her out, see what we get. So I'm going to hush and just let you guys watch me work for a while. As I think of things, I will let you know. Okay? We're good. We're good. As you can tell, I was trying to stop it from running over out of that edge. My table's not exactly level. It's as level as I can get it considering the floor it sits on was a patio at one time, and it all slopes away. So it's really hard to get anything level in this room. That's why it's my craft room and my TV watching room. So yeah, this is why I decided to do resin, where you need to have everything level. So watch me struggle, watch me spread, enjoy. Yeah, that's why I keep turning it. I keep turning it so that it will spread out a little more level and not overflow and make a mess. Because this is really pretty, I don't want it to make a mess. And I'm sorry I hit the camera, because now you're looking at half me sitting here and half the project. But I'm sorry. I will fix that shortly. But anyway, here we go. Okay, everybody, we're trying this one more time. Yes, you can tell I'm doing this as a voiceover. I just wanted to let you all know I am wearing my respirator. You can see I have my gloves on. You have to, or you will end up with serious health issues if you do not use your protective equipment. PPE is of the utmost in this hobby. It's not just because of the fumes from certain resins. This particular one that I use is very low viscosity, low VOC. It's actually low viscosity as well. It starts out quite thick to begin with. So that's why I have issues with the Larimar effect. Anyway, use your PPE, stay safe. Number one, hardest thing on you to breathe while you're doing this is the isopropyl alcohol. It's 99.9% pure. It's also highly flammable. This makes life really interesting when you're using it as a fine mist. Anyway, you see the popsicle sticks under there? And so it'll sit level and not like run off. I had a little bit of clear resin, so I piled it. I just poured it out on the corner of the mat there and sprinkled in some of the Marabu. I'll make something out of it. I don't know. It wasn't really enough to do much serious stuff with, so I poured it out on the side. So I am excited for the next part of this, which is we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow, I guess, because at this particular point, you know, we need to have little dangly things coming off of it. So I was thinking, since it's mainly hearts that are in this particular pattern and teardrops that are elongated, I have my keychain and pendant mold that I can use to make gems to hang off of this. And I was thinking, okay, that's where we can add in our multicolors and our glitter. So at this point, are you ready? Let's get busy. Let's watch me work. This is the mold we're going to use. You will also notice yeah, lots of different sizes of teardrops and drip looking things to use in here. So that's what we use. See you later. Okay. Here we are, next day. Okay, here we are, the next day. It's all set nice and hard. Not going to let it loose though. This is what we will be demolding on the live stream tomorrow with Dolly. Dolly and I have so much fun doing the live stream together. It's the last Wednesday of every month. Yeah, I decided to do my nails, y'all. We'll see if they end up poking through the gloves. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what we can do about pouring these. You'll notice what I'm pointing at here. See the little black marks in the teardrops? I had to do something so that I could mark out the ones that I want to use. And I wouldn't pour resin in areas I didn't want it to go. I have a tendency to kind of visually get lost sometimes. Yeah, more than just by what I say. So now we're going to get ready to mix up our color. So you see me pouring a little clear resin that I mixed up into a paper cup. And this particular one is going to be more of the blue. So we're using that same forget-me-not blue. I think I put in 2 drops. And we're gonna stir that up here in a minute. Also, you'll notice when I drop that in, all that ink ran to the edges of the cup. So it makes that's why you have to stir and scrape the edges of the cup. So here we go. Are you guys ready for this? Stirring her up. I stirred her up off camera, trying to get it the same, consistency of blue, which is difficult to see when you're in a cup because it's more concentrated in a cup. It's a little deeper than it is poured out thin in that mold. So yes, we're going to add the Marabu rainbow ink again. Let's hide this mold. Let's just put it out of the way. I'm going to use that, and I think I did find a little glitter. So here we go, pouring it in again, trying to not get that ball bearing. See me shaking it up to get all the particles shook up in there so we can get it in our resin. Can you see that dancing and moving around in there? Isn't that pretty? Yes, here comes the holographic iridescent glitter. Big chunky glitter. But I didn't put enough in there to I just want a hint of it so that when the light shines through these gems, it's going to catch and throw the sun. Like a suncatcher does. We just stir it up. See, look at that. Isn't it pretty? Here we go. What you just saw me do there by, flipping it up and letting it drop, I'm trying to vibrate any bubbles that are on the bottom to come to the surface. There's the isopropyl alcohol that helps to pop the bubbles on as they come to the surface. You will see there are two spaces that need to be filled. So I'm going to have to mix up a little bit more resin. I wasn't exactly sure how much I was going to need. Since then, I have found out that 60 milligrams of resin is exactly the right amount to pour this bubble, all these gems that I have here. Now, it's really hard with the small ones to not get them poured thick. So I tried really hard to get it so that they're thin, so they're easier to see through, but that's okay. They are what they are, and they're, this is handmade art, and this is not made in a factory. Mold might be made in a factory, but the rest of it is all me. Flaws, footballs, and all that. Now you're going to see me stopping here shortly, and every time I stop, it is going to be to do a different color. So at this particular point, I'm going to keep on keeping on and let you watch. Each time you see me stop, it's because I'm getting ready to mix. Come on. Every time you see me stop, it's because I'm getting ready to mix another color. So here we go. We're working. This is pink. What I showed you there it's the peach color. And obviously I need it's looking pretty pale to me, but apparently we're going to use it that pale. It's pink. Now see that drop of pink in the center of that? This is that same color, only it's stained and somehow it dripped in there and it stained the mold. So no matter, that pink spot's always there. This pink is kind of an odd color. It has a tendency to have a fluorescence to it that is really, really fun. Now, see, it's so pale. You can hardly tell it's pink. So, I'm going to hush. I'm just going to let you watch me work. Each time I change colors, that is a different day. It's taking 24 hours for these to set. This is the only mold I have to do these in, so I'm kind of limited. So this took, I've got 4 different colors, I believe, 4 or 5 different colors. Each color was a day. So that's why this is our big project for the live stream. Anyway, enjoy! Well, I stirred that. I made a beautiful, lovely video that went nowhere. Here's the green, y'all. Oops, I forgot to push record. But this is the green. At this particular point, I had clear resin left over, so you saw me put it up there in the round. So I thought I'd use my pansies. This is from my own garden. You know, you could buy a flower press, or you can do like I do. It's called The Heaviest Book You Can Find in Paper Towels. Works perfectly for me. It takes a little longer, but you know, I have an encyclopedia of gardening, because gardening is my hobby. Yeah, I was going to add that little one, but no, that just crowded up too much. I think that just that one pansy's enough. Anyway, just before it turned super hot and my pansies all died from spring, or the rabbits got them, I went out there and snipped off the heads and of some of my really pretty flowers. I got a couple nasturtiums too. Pressed them between the pages of my encyclopedia of gardening book. You drop that sucker on your toe, I promise you, it'll break it. But you want to talk about a book full of information on anything you want to grow anywhere in the world and where it comes from? Encyclopedia of Gardening. Anyway, I'm showing you all of my little pansies that I did manage to accomplish. Right now, I am in the process of drying leaves to go with those, but I just thought, you got a little extra resin. Let's have some fun with the pansies. So I'm adding some green glitter, dark green glitter. I don't know why. I thought it needed some glitter on it. And we'll just, it didn't want to sprinkle in right. So, yeah, it's really hard to handle these. With these gloves on, they get sticky, first of all, from the resin. And then to handle these little dishes with the glitter in them. And there I was trying to hold the whole thing in one hand and sprinkle it out with the other, and it just wasn't cooperating. Just not gonna work right. Just wasn't working right. Once I got it in there, though, I could adjust enough where to put those little bits of chunky green glitter. Enjoy. Hi everybody, I'm back. I just wanted to say we're at the point in the video where we're coming to an end. There is one more color that I didn't add into the video because I didn't get it recorded. And that's the color purple. Of course I'd miss the color purple. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you all for watching, for coming and being here. Make sure to come tomorrow night or tomorrow evening at 5:30, same time, same channel, where we will unmold and talk about what colors we want to put where, what order do we want them in. Do we want big ones at the top or big ones at the bottom? Do we want to mix together? We're going to plan this together. So let's get together, have some fun. Join me and my wonderful dear friend Dolly from the Wolf Girl Oracle channel. Join us for our joint live stream to unmold this resin art, to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and to, the whole idea of doing this is to entertain you, bring some joy and sparkle into your life. And if you are here for the insight that the card reading brings you, that's also another good part of this channel that is inspirational, hopefully brings you some joy. And if you really like what you see here, come back. You want to make sure you know when I post another video, which I post these resin videos several times a week. You want to know when the next one is, you're going to need to ring that bell, make it ring nice and loud, and you'll get the notification. I love you all. I thank you for being here. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Oh yeah, be kind to yourself. Sleep well tonight. Bye-bye, everybody.